Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Next Goal Wins. It is the preview show for Saturday's game, Man United at home, the big one. It was the biggest game of last season for our home fans. It goes down in history. Can we do the same this year? It's more important this year though. It's first versus second. Let's talk about it now. So yeah, like I said, let's talk about this game now. It is Leicester against Man United, first versus second, and it still boggles belief and is mind-blowing to actually be saying that. I mean, it's the best attack against the best defence in the league as well, let's not forget. And let's quickly start by talking about that then. I put that as my key battle for the game, Man United's defence against our attack. Now, we know Man United are very good in defence. They've only conceded 9 goals all season in the Premier League, but they aren't that good going forward. It's kind of taken it away from them, Matt. They've had a lot of nil-nils recently and haven't been scoring goals at all, let alone nipping in with a few and winning games 1-0. I mean, the PSV game last night, as of recording this, kind of summed up to me what they were lacking. Rooney's poor. I mean, I haven't rated Rooney for a few years, kind of in terms of scoring goals and being that leading striker in a team. So that's not what he should be there to do on a football pitch at this age. He's better playing deep, kind of if he has to play at all. I wouldn't play him if I was Van Gaal at all on his recent form, but no, you know, that defence has solidified though. Look at it compared to this time last season where the major talking point was, well, they'll score goals because they've got people like Di Maria and Rooney and etc, but then will they be able to stop them from going in their own net? Now, last season they couldn't when they played us, conceded 5, but did score 3. This season I don't think it'll be a game like that. I think it'll be a game a lot more about kind of defensive solidity and trying to break each other down. But there should be no better team in the league at breaking people down than us at the moment. We scored 28 goals in the Premier League, the top goal scorers in the whole of the Premier League, ahead of Man City, would you believe, who are renowned for scoring lumps and lumps of goals and getting goals from all over the field. But it's little old Leicester City who lead that one. So it should be a very, very intriguing battle, this attack versus defence. I do think we've got people who can break them down. Now, I know at the bottom of the screen I've put the pictures, I've kind of put people like Mahrez and Ulloa and Vardy, because I imagine those 3 are going to start, and it'll kind of be the same who started last year against Man United, funnily enough, where you talk about kind of, oh, we're a different team, a little bit of players coming in and players improving, but it's going to be the same kind of players who played against Man United last year and tormented them, who hopefully will be able to torment them again. So let's talk about Vardy. We know his pace is going to be a massive threat for Man United, but they've got Chris Smalling, they've got Daley Blind, they've got Ashley Young who could play fullback, they've got Phil Jones at centre half, but none of them are exceptionally fast. I know Jones and Smalling can cover ground and they should be able to keep up to him, but there's no defender in the league who can keep up to Vardy properly and stop him creating space. So that's going to be Man United's biggest worry in this game, I think, for them personally, is how do you stop Vardy, not necessarily from scoring goals, because I know, obviously, the main talking point, and I'll touch on it a bit, but I don't want to make the video about it, is him breaking the possible record of Van Nistelrooy's 10. He's obviously equalled it last week and he could move on to 11 this week and break that record. But for me it's more important, I saw a poll on Twitter, would you rather Vardy scored and we lose, or we win and Vardy doesn't score? And I can't believe that some of the Leicester fans would vote for Vardy to score and us to not win. I know obviously it would be amazing, and I've spoken about Vardy kind of getting the record, but he has equalled it now, and you can't take 3 points away to push us even further at the top of this table. So I would take the 3 points every day of the week. But that's the key thing for Man United, stopping Vardy getting into his areas where he can cause trouble, because yes, he scored a goal last season against them, but it was the 2 penalties he won and kind of his harassment of their defenders that was what made him stand out in that game. Obviously his finish was brilliant, but he only scored 1 goal on the day, and people always talk about it like he scored 2 or 3, but you know, Mahrez is going to be another key. Can he exploit Blind? Now, we saw a few weeks ago when we played Watford, Nathan Ake is kind of a big, strong left back, not a natural left back, and isn't blessed with pace. Daley Blind's the same. He's not kind of blessed with pace. He's a strong physical centre half who can play the ball and plays lovely football. So playing at left back, where he's kind of out of position, supposing he does play there, then I think Mahrez could capitalise on that. I think Mahrez can get past him with his pace, with his trickery, and could really cause us problems down that side. And also, Ulloa now should have a bit of recapture of form. He obviously scored in the last outing, so it'll be interesting to see if he can get himself back on the goal sheet. Albrighton whipping in crosses for him is going to be massively important. they're more solid in the air this year than last season, United, with people like Smalling and obviously Jones being more commanding in the air, but I still see weaknesses in there for Ulloa to exploit. So let's talk about now your Leicester City side. So the first thing I have to talk about is I think it's going to be exactly the same team we played against Newcastle. I don't think there's going to be any changes because why would you change it? There was nothing wrong with that performance. It was perfection from start to finish. So I know it was away from home, but we didn't play a different formation to we would at home. So I keep exactly the same team and just tell them to go out there and do exactly the same. I mean, I've just touched upon pretty much all of our strike force, but a key is going to be if Juan Mata plays. Juan Mata didn't play a lot of last night's game against PSV, only coming for the last 5 minutes, which is mind-boggling when you can see at the top of my screen that he's the top assist and top goal scorer for Man United this season. But they seem to turn to Fellaini in those situations instead of Mata. Mata's unbelievably creative and a player I rate highly, so if he does play, he could cause us problems picking passes through that defence, because we can be exploited sometimes defensively, little jinky passes through in behind Morgan and Hoof turning, so hopefully that doesn't happen in this game. Hopefully we can stop those passes being threaded in. People like Rooney running onto him, but more importantly Martial. I mean, Martial's pace is going to be a factor in this game. If Depay plays, Memphis Depay, if he plays, he could be causing problems with his pace in behind people like Simpson. So we just need to be careful on that front, but I think we should be alright, kind of stopping them from flooding forward. On Man United, quickly on the opposition, I think, it's obviously a difficult period for them because they can't score goals at the moment, but they are not conceding goals. I know that's not really a positive way of looking at it, but if you're Man United, you're still second in the Premier League. Yes, the Champions League's disappointing. It's now kind of out of your hands, I guess. It's still in them, but kind of out of your hands in terms of qualifying because of the result against PSV. You have to pick up a result now, which I guess is still in your hands, but you know what I mean. But they're still second in the Premier League, and for all their attacking frailties this season, they still sit there just behind us in the Premier League, and kind of that's a key talking point. It's a common saying in American football, my sport that I love, that defence wins championships. Offence is brilliant for show and gets you there, but defence is what wins you championships at the end of the day. And the defence of Man United this season has been sensational. Chris Smalling's looked a completely different player to he has in recent years. Jones has formed a good partnership with him, and the two fullbacks, whoever they may be, have been very solid all season. We've seen a few different people tested out there, but another key thing from it has been the two people sitting in front, whether it's been Herrera, whether it's been Carrick, whether it's been Blint dropping into that role. They've all kind of looked solid and not necessarily been flair going forward. I mean, I know Herrera's got a few goals, but defensively they look massively solid. And people like Kante are going to be massively important in this game because Kante has to stop that flow of football coming forward from the back and keep them under constant pressure, because Man United haven't really been put under massive constant pressure this season by teams pressing high up the pitch, trying to win the ball back off them, and that's something we are brilliant at. So I really think that could be a key to this game for us. I think it's massive that we stop them doing that. And a massive key talking point has to be the declining form of Wayne Rooney. I quickly mentioned it earlier, but Rooney this season obviously caused criticism of comments from Roy Keane last night saying that he's so disinterested, Paul Merson saying they play like Sabutio because they can't do anything on attack, and Rooney has been massively disappointing this season. He looks off the boil, disinterested and not too bothered, but I think that's purely because he's declining and degenerating as a player. He's not the player he was when he was 21 at that European Championships, however old he was. He was unbelievable then, but like Michael Owen, people passed their best early, and Michael Owen was the same. Michael was someone you always felt sorry for because of injuries, but he peaked when he was early, and people expected so much from him, and it never progressed. Obviously, he won kind of a Ballon d'Or and got that big move to Real Madrid and was solid at Real Madrid, but injuries are what really did Owen. Rooney, I think, is just a digression of form. He peaked when he was young and hasn't been able to recapture that form properly since. Obviously, he's pitched in with key goals and massively important goals like the overhead kick against Man City, but that keeps getting replayed and he hasn't done kind of a 20 goal a season man for a few seasons really consistently. He's not like Shearer was when he was in the Premier League. Rooney now is more of a creator, and they haven't found anyone to pick up that load yet. Martial started brilliantly, but he's been played out of position. So all of that added together, and all I spoke about at Leicester, my prediction is going to be 1-0. 1-0 for this game. I think I'd take 1-0 now if you handed it to me, a 1-0 draw against Man United. I know, obviously, you want to be trying to win all your home games, but it's Man United. Let's not kid ourselves. We're top of the league. A draw will probably keep us top of the league, or at least keep us joint top of the league. So a point would be a massive, massive result. United will be tough. They will come in, they will cause us problems. We shouldn't kid ourselves. They're second in the Premier League. But I do think we've got enough to draw this game. I think it'll be a very similar game to the Tottenham game. Hopefully we can score first, though, and we can kind of win the game from being ahead, because we don't want to have to be coming from behind again like we did against Tottenham. But I see massive similarities to that game in what I think is going to happen in this game. Leave down below what you think the score is going to be for this game. Leave your predictions down there. Please like the video, as always. And just quickly, I tried to get another Man United fan on this. None of them would go on it, but hopefully I will have one for the review show. I'm not going to promise that, but hopefully, hands up, hopefully there will be one, so you don't have to hear my voice constantly. But anyway, please like the video, like I said, and as always, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Come on, you foxes.